last episode, we covered customers, channels to market, and pricing. We're to defining your target customers and what's often known as your total addressable market, or TAM. But once you know what your market looks like and your sales channels are established, you'll need to start thinking about how you'll actually be able to attract potential customers. Remember that the channels, or the water slides, will get you into the market. But you'll probably still need to present your product or service and persuade your customers to buy what you're selling when you finally get there. Let's turn back to Elijah. Elijah may have established one of his sales channels in his school car park, but he still needed to convince the teachers, parents, and others to bully the shampoo when they're walking past the store. Ever wonder how some brands become overnight sensations, whilst others completely disappear and are quickly forgotten? That's in part due to a secret sauce, which is known as marketing. Marketing refers to any actions that a business takes to attract customers to the company's products or services. Marketing can involve a lot of different techniques, such as promotions on social media, partnering with influencers, sending out newsletters, and even hosting or attending events. Some businesses even use what's known as guerrilla marketing, which uses shot tactics to get a possible customer's attention. Knowing your target customers and your addressable market will have a huge impact on the marketing you need to undertake. It's probably not going to be successful if you use Instagram ads to target customers that are 80 plus, but at the same time, it's a waste of time advertising in the local papers if you're targeting customers that are under 15 years old. So whether it's digital for a younger audience, or even leaflet drops for an older audience, you'll certainly want to be thinking about what marketing is likely to be best for your business. And by the way, you'll probably need to try a number of ways before you get it right. In marketing, the theory, which is pretty sound in this area, says that a business should consider the 4 P's of marketing, also known as the marketing mix. These are product, price, place, and promotion. The first P in the marketing mix stands for product. And the product or service needs to be something people either need or want, because if not, the business is not going to be doing very much selling. And the summary is, you need to have a good product in the first instance. The second P stands for price. As we touched upon in the last episode, price is pretty important too when customers consider they want to buy from you or not. If a price is too high, customers may be put off and find cheap alternatives. And whilst the lower price will probably mean you can sell more product, too lower price can leave the business without profit and the business may struggle to survive. So you need to find a price that's not so high that it puts customers off, but also not too low to enable you still to make a profit. The third P in the marketing mix stands for place. This represents the place where people can buy your product or service. It could be online, a store, a pop-up shop, or even in the school car park like Elijah. Marketing in the right place is crucial, and that decision on place will depend in part on the sales channels that you either have or propose to use. And the final P in the marketing mix stands for promotion. Promotion is how you let people know about your product and convince them to buy it. It's all about getting the word out and maximizing your service or product appeal to your target customers. How will you tell people about your product? Will you use social media, flyers, or maybe even a cool video? Are there special deals or discounts you'll offer to make people want to buy your product? Think about what will make your product stand out and really grab attention. So reflecting on the concept of marketing, you might start thinking, this is going to cost an absolute fortune. And while some big businesses drop mind-blowing cash on marketing, and we're talking $50 million for a 30-second Super Bowl TV ad, you don't need to break the bank in your business to be noticed. In fact, there are loads of budget-friendly and even free ways to market your business. So you should always be thinking of how you can keep your marketing costs down. Think of easy-to-create social media challenges, collaborations with micro-influencers, or even guerrilla marketing stunts that really get people talking. So, whether you're working with pocket change or have access to some serious dosh, remember this. Smart marketing isn't just about how much you spend, it's about how will you connect with your target audience and customers.
We market in lots of different ways. We put letters through people's doors, which we call leaflet dropping. We market through our shops. We have big digital screens that show all of our products. We do things in newspapers. We go to special events where we give away lots of products. We advertise online with different platforms and different social medias. So there are lots of ways. We do more simple things like we decorate all our vans with all our telephone numbers and some of the products customers can get.
Our main marketing channels are social media.
Most of our marketing spend is on trade marketing. So that's where you do things with your biggest customers. So for example, with Waitrose, we might take out a page in their magazine or do a recipe card.
Brand ambassadors, commercial partnerships, and through social channels.
Partnerships, a partnership with organisations where we understand our consumers are located or potentially using the products and services of. And secondly, through certain social media channels.
Email marketing is quite big for us, and then we do events.
As a CMO, my role was to scale an application from zero to as many users as possible within a space of time. Now, that project was aimed at students, so I had to think about various marketing strategies, whether I'd use YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and the main platform that really sort of worked for us was TikTok, because it's exactly where all of the young people are. So what we did, we created good ad copies, used the TikTok Ads Manager to sort of really boost the content and drive downloads to the app. We saw a growth from 0 to 3 million users just within a year.
Customer acquisition is the term that entrepreneurs use to describe the way in which they convince their customers to buy a product or service. It may sound strange, but lots of businesses actually pay money to get in front of their customers. Think of all the sponsored listings you see when you browse the web to look for something to buy. In all of those cases, the business doing the marketing is paying Google a fee to be listed when someone types in a particular search term. This is called paid search, and it's part of marketing. The business will use paid search in the attempt to acquire customers. The business is trying to buy their customers' attention in the hope that the customer will buy from them and in turn allow them to make a profit. Customer acquisition cost is defined as the fee associated with convincing the consumer to buy your product or service. It represents the amount of money that a business pays in order to gain a new customer. If, for example, an advert on social media costs a business £20 and it attracts 4 new customers, it would have cost the business £5 to acquire each customer. In Elijah's car washing business, he incentivizes new customers by giving away a free air freshener to each of them. The cost to Elijah's business for the air freshener is £1.50. So in this example, the cost of acquisition of a customer for Elijah is £1.50. All good businesses and entrepreneurs will measure these acquisition costs very closely and pretty regularly. Customer acquisition costs are an important key performance indicator, also known as a KPI, and we'll be covering important KPIs later in this series. To understand the maximum that your business should pay to acquire a customer, or in other words, how high an acquisition cost can be before you lose profitability, you need to estimate what's known as the customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is defined as the amount of profit that a business will generate from a single customer over that customer's lifetime. It's going to be an estimate, of course, but by knowing it, you can maximize your profit by making sure that your acquisition cost is not too high, which in some businesses can be a real problem. Let's look at an example. Jameson has a dog named Archie, and Archie gets his pet food delivered every week at his home from a company called Youngy Paws. Youngy Paws calculate that they make £5 of profit from Jameson's orders every month, and they think that Jameson will keep buying from them for about 10 more months. They've calculated these numbers based on some data provided by some super smart data scientists. So doing the maths, Jameson's lifetime value to Yummy Board is £50, calculated as £5 of profit per month, times the 10 months of which he'll be a customer. But why do Yummy Paws care about this number? Well, if they know that each customer is worth £50 of profit to them, they know that they shouldn't spend more than £50 on acquiring any single customer. There's a lot of science around acquisition costs, but for now, simply remember that businesses must keep their customer acquisition costs lower than the total lifetime value of their customers if they're going to continue to make a profit. For many businesses, like us all, retaining your customers is very important. If you can hang on to your customers and ensure that they buy from you again and again, you'll be building loyalty with them over time and making sure that each and every customer is a profitable customer. Retaining customers will mean you have to spend less money and there's less pressure to acquire new customers to keep replacing them. Customer retention is defined as the rate at which you hold on to your existing customers. So if, for example, your business had a 75% customer retention rate, it would mean that your business will be losing 25% of the customers from the start to the end of any given period. So if your business starts the year with 100 subscribers and you've got a 75% retention rate, you'd end the year with only 75 customers. Most businesses will pay very close attention to their customer retention rate. It's another KPI that we'll hear about in a later episode. But for your own business, you'll need to think about all the different ways to retain as many customers as possible and for as long as possible. Loyalty schemes and promotions targeted at your existing customers are usually a great way to retain your customers.
We send out regular newsletters that have recipes on them and keep our customers engaged in our community.
Well, we have something called the Love Club here at Lola's. If you want a free 5-inch cake on your birthday, you join our club, you go to the shop and you get your free cake. Now that is a way of hanging on to our customers very much. And I did that because I wanted Lola's to be in the mind of our customers throughout the year, not just once a year or when they pass by our store. So we have this club, we give a lot of benefits to our customers to make sure that they feel that they're being rewarded, they're being cared for. At the end of the day, customers will give you their loyalty if they feel like you're giving them the love and the loyalty back.
We will look at what the typical lifetime value is, and at certain times throughout the period of the customer's ordering history with us, we'll give them exceptional offers, we'll make them feel special, we'll create a VIP offer for them which standard customers don't get, and then we will just progress them through the journey with Muscle Food.
So that wraps up episode 7, and by now you'll hopefully have a high-level understanding of what marketing is, what customer acquisition is all about, how it relates to customer lifetime value, and why customer retention is so important. In terms of your business plans, now would be a great time to really start thinking about how you will market your product or service, how you'll acquire your customers, and how you propose to retain them for as long as possible.